Now here is First Coast News Sports Director Chris Porter.
The Jacksonville Jaguars kicking off their 2023 season in just 2 days. It's a season in which Jags fans hope this team can reach heights it's never been.
Now there are expectations for us. Last year there wasn't any expectations.
Fans, experts, even players talking Super Bowl.
And I really think that is something that we can accomplish.
The Big Cats now have the experience, the coach, the talent, and the confidence it requires to compete for the Vince Lombardi Trophy. It's a team led by Trevor Lawrence, a rising star in the NFL, a young quarterback surrounded with lots of talent, the likes of Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and Evan Ingram. The defending AFC South champs' bond is strong. They're all bought into Doug Peterson's vision and plan. The goal is simple: win.
This year kind of feels like we're already gelling together, offense, talking to defense and stuff. Like, it's all cohesive in that locker room right now.
Tonight, we're getting you ready for the 2023 season. Ready to Roar on ABC 25 starts right now. Oh, my friends, hello, welcome to Ready to Roar. I'm Chris Porter. Thanks for joining me tonight. Without question, this is one of the most anticipated seasons in my 15 years of being here in Jacksonville, covering the Jags. The fans, players, and people around the NFL all believe the 2023 version of the Jacksonville Jaguars is good enough to be Super Bowl contenders. And why not believe it's year 2 under head coach Doug Peterson, a coach who in his first year helped Trevor Lawrence elevate his game. Then with all of the weapons they added, plus you factor in what this team did in 2022, they've got a chance. But unlike last season, the Jags aren't going to sneak up on anyone in 2023. The question is, how, for the first time in years, will this team manage having high expectations?
Everyone always asks about expectations and how you deal with them. Like, you don't really deal with them, you just don't listen to them. Like, what does it matter what, this guy said over here? He's not in our locker room, he's not a part of our team. And even if he said something good, we go out and lose Sunday, everyone's gonna be like, oh, I told you they weren't gonna be any good. So it doesn't really matter, what people say or, so we just have to keep our ship tight. And I think that's the biggest thing that coach has done a good job of is making sure we do that and managing all those expectations, because that's just, they're not real. It's not a real thing, we have to go play every Sunday and put our best foot forward, and you can't do that if you're listening to what other people are saying.
Jaguars are going to repeat as AFC South Division champs and make a run at the Super Bowl. It's all going to start with quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Every Jaguars fan, NFL expert, and the team's top brass knows the success or failure of this franchise lies on the broad shoulders of quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who is entering his 3rd year in the teal and black. Trevor took major strides year 2 under Super Bowl winning head coach Doug Peterson. Year 1, Peterson vowed the Big Cats would build around number 16, and they did, with free agent additions like Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, and Brandon Sheriff. The investments paid off. Trevor threw for more than 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. That's including the playoffs. In the process, he led the Big Cats to the AFC South Division title, losing in the divisional round to the eventual Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, many are saying the Jags will repeat as AFC South Division champs, and they're good enough to possibly make it to the Super Bowl. The biggest task now for Peterson and company, now that Trevor has a year under his belt in Peterson's system, making sure the offensive game plan is tailored specifically to Trevor Lawrence.
That's the one thing about Trevor. His maturity level is off the charts. So you're able to sit down and say, here's what we see, here's what we need to improve on. He generally has the same notes for the most part. We'll ask, what are your thoughts? And he kind of says the same thing we're tracking, so that's very encouraging for us as a coaching staff to kind of already see the same things, want to improve on the same things, whether that's fundamentals with him or schematics in terms of our whole offense.
The keys are his, and we kind of have the saying, Trevor can get to anything at any time, and it's basically his toolbox of all of the tools that he's been equipped with within the offense. And when we go out there, if he sees something on the fly or if the defense comes out and something that maybe we weren't expecting, and he knows where to go and what to get us into a better play, they trust him to be able to do that.
From his opening press conference in 2022, Doug Peterson and the Jaguars' top brass promised getting Trevor Lawrence what he needs to succeed was their top priority. Andrew Badillo taking a closer look at the talent the team added just at wide receiver.
Take one offensive weapon away from Trevor Lawrence and you'll be hard-pressed to stop the others. This Jaguars offense is absolutely loaded heading into the 2023-2024 season, highlighted by the addition of Calvin Ridley. All eyes are on number 0.
The way he runs, there's not many guys like that, especially in and out of his breaks, and he's just really crafty.
Focus on Calvin Ridley and you'll forget about number 13.
Obviously, Christian works primarily in the slot, and he's really good in space and working that area of the field.
It doesn't stop there.
Along with Zay as well. We got 2 guys outside that are studs. We got Christian inside and Evan as well, depending on what it is. We also got Ag. We just have so many weapons. It's going to be tough for defenses to, know what to expect.
Between Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and Evan Ingram, the Jaguars bring back 239 receptions. With the addition of Ridley, a former second-team All-Pro receiver, Trevor Lawrence has everything he needs to excel and lead.
We do lean on him. We do ask, him what he likes and doesn't like, and try to refine it to the things that the players like.
There are a lot of hands, but only one ball. Lawrence says it's no problem.
It's easier when you don't have to deal with egos, and we don't really have any guys that have egos, and that especially makes it easier as a quarterback. You just try to do your job and put yourself in a position to win the game, and I think everybody knows that and is on the same page with that, and I think that's what makes us work and gel really well together.
After camp, Lawrence was asked if he would stack his wide receiver unit against anyone in the league, and he of course smiled and said, "Yup, they're as good as anyone in the NFL." Andrew Badillo, First Coast Sports.
In these parts, you can't seem to talk about breaking wideout Calvin Ridley enough. During training camp, he was nothing less than incredible. Ridley has something to prove, and it shows. He was the talk all camp long, making spectacular catches every time the ball was thrown his way. His speed, his footwork, his IQ on the field is unmatched, and with great responsibility comes the pressure. Ridley says pressure makes diamonds.
There's no pressure. I've been doing this. I'm going to continue to say this. As soon as I was a high school player, everyone at my high school loved me too. They was screaming my name the same way. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I went to Alabama, there was people after the game waiting on me outside. There's no pressure. Football is what I do. So, it's just, I go the other way. I don't have social media. If you guys, I don't know if you know, I don't have that much social media. And, I don't really watch too much ESPN and all that, but I'm just here to help this team win games.
One of Trevor Lawrence's top targets in 2022 was tight end Evan Ingram. Ingram came to the 904 looking to revive his career after falling off after his rookie season with the New York Giants. Ingram put up career numbers, did not accept the franchise tag, and as he said, as he told us, General Manager Trent Baalke promised they'd work out a long-term deal, and they did. While the terms of the contract were not disclosed, there are reports they agreed on a 3-year contract worth more than $41 million, and it included a $24 million fully guaranteed. So here's a look at the numbers Evan Ingram put up last season. He had career highs with 73 catches, 766 receiving yards, each top 5 among NFL tight ends last season. Ingram hauled in 4 touchdowns for the Big Cats, which was tied for 6th among tight ends in 2022. The franchise tag would have kept him in Jacksonville for just another season, but the long-term deal keeps him here for a while. Travis Etienne is ready to build on what he accomplished in 2022. The star tailback electrified Jags fans with explosive runs and catches out of the backfield. Tonight in our one-on-one conversation, Etienne shares how he's grateful to be able to play the game he loves. I've been covering the Jaguars since 2009. The last time the fan base has been this excited about a season was 2018. This year, expectations extremely high for what you guys did last year. How are you guys embracing the fact that people do believe you guys are Super Bowl contenders?
We just come out here and put the work in every day. I feel like our confidence comes from our preparation. And for us to just come here each and every day and just work hard, I feel like that's going to pay off, and that's what we're going to just lean on when those games come when times get hard.
Obviously, you got a lot of offensive weapons around you, Trevor, the wide receivers. Having so many weapons around you, how do you think that's going to allow you to be even better in 2023?
I was going to offer just much more space out there on the field. They have to respect guys now. They have to respect our speed on the outside, and don't be able to crash down so hard. So I'm going to be able to get up on safeties and work one-on-ones now, and I just got to win my opportunities whenever I get out in space. You and Trevor, close friends. You've been here since he got here, year one. How has he elevated his game from your perspective just from last season? Just everything's much quicker for him. The game is slowed down. He's processing things much faster. He's just out there looking good. He's looking good, man. I'm just ready to go out there. Can't wait to see him play, and I'll go out there and let it free, let it loose.
Last year around this time, maybe a little earlier, you said something that stood out. It was before you got your first season under your belt. You were talking about the challenges, the mental challenges it took on you when you couldn't play ball your first year. With that being said, is your approach as far as having this opportunity, the way you approach it, totally different considering that first year you talk about the mental toll it took on you not being able to play?
Most definitely. I wake up every day with the mindset I get to play football, not that I have to play. And that just helps me come out here and just be my best every day, because at the end of the day, I don't know if this is my last day or not. So I just come out here and approach it with that mindset and just try to get better every day and just enjoy the process, just enjoy the moments.
How did you get better as a man dealing with that?
Just finding out who I was, just leaning on my parents, my siblings, just everybody around me, just leaning on them, just finding out who I was without football. And I feel like it just really drew me closer to God and just things like that, and just helped me just see the bigger picture of life and understand that football is just a short time in my life. So I just have to enjoy this moment and just enjoy it, because it's not going to be here forever. I'll be 28. I'm still have the rest of my life ahead of me. So just kind of just put it in light to me that I just have to enjoy these moments while I have them.
Tank Bigsby, I'm sorry. One, what do you think of how he's doing in camp? And then two, has he leaned on you for leadership?
Definitely. I feel like, one, he's been doing good. He's doing good. He has that 1-2. He also had that same mindset of just he gets to play football every day. And I love that about him. He always has positive energy, and that just reflects just the running back room, and that just rubs off on everybody. And definitely he calls me all the time. I feel like I can't get him to stop calling me, but I just love that, because I feel like having a guy like that makes you want to grow. And he inspired me as well as I inspired him, and that's why you're going to see the running back room this year just going to be electric.
You say he calls you all the time. Can you give me some insight on what he's asking, what he's saying?
We just talking about football, really. Just sometimes he might call me, ask me what's going on this play, or just like a scheme or something. But just leaning on me to leadership. Just asking. He's not afraid to ask questions, and that's what I love about him. So he calls. He has a little question, he asks it, and that's what I love about him. He's not shy to get information from anyone, and that's why he's going to be great.
Speaking of the rookie out of Auburn who the team drafted in the third round to take some of the load off of Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby. Bigsby has been impressive since he put on the teal in black. He fit right in with the Jags and stood out quickly. He's fast, strong, physical, and as you heard Etienne say there, he does not hesitate to ask questions. Doug Peterson said he's looking forward to what Bigsby's full potential could be, because he knows he'll only get better. All of the Jaguars' offensive weapons will need that offensive line to block. Ashley Gonzalez is here, and Ashley, it's an O-line that's not getting much respect nationally.
Well, the Jaguars' offensive line had a pretty solid year when it came to keeping Trevor Lawrence upright in 2022. The O-line allowed 28 sacks, the 5th fewest in the NFL, but another ranking saw the offensive line near the bottom of the league. Check it out, ESPN ranked the offensive line 31st in the NFL in pass block win rate last season. The team took notice and made special shirts with a reminder on the back. Despite taking the time to make the shirts, the players say they're not paying attention to rankings, and they're solely focused on protecting their quarterback and paving the path for Travis Etienne and the run game.
We want to play the best for those 3 hours on Sunday. If somebody wants to say we're the best line, the worst line, we don't really care. That has nothing to do with anything that goes on the field. So it's kind of just making light of it. I don't know that it adds a chip necessarily to our guys, other than it's just something to have fun with as we go.
I mean, we got the shirts and all this stuff made, 31st offensive line, and that's just, it's another thing. It's just we don't listen to that kind of stuff. We're obviously that's their guys' job, but our job is to play football.
Trayvon Walker ready to take his game to the next level. Find out what the top pick in the 2022 NFL Draft did to get better. Plus, Tyson Campbell plans to be good. You're watching Ready to Roar on ABC 25.